Hey, Thea. So I have a question for you. So what does it take operationally to make AI successful on the ground?
I think from an operational perspective, what we're seeing as we've evolved through the application of AI is you really have to start with a business case first and then being very clear about what that business case is. Once you've have that business case, it's really important then to look at your workforce and say, where are they at in this? How is this going to impact them? What is their readiness? And once you kind of have those foundational steps, you really are looking to what's your change management strategy? And
Yep.
I always feel like when I say that, people are like, well, no kidding. But it really is the key to that success. All of the things that tie into change management in communication, being clear. And I think in that change management strategy is what are your expectations of the staff,
Yep.
of the tool? What is sort of that iterative reporting?
Yep.
When are you going to see those results? And so if you really approach it in that business case with your workforce in mind, and then how do we facilitate this change like anything else, you really are going to hit those outcomes in a way that is going to be transformational.
What messages actually help teams feel supported during AI rollout?
Be transparent with them. What are our goals? Where do we see you in this picture?
Yep.
Where do we think this can be important to your
Yep.
transformation in the process?
Yep.
And having them be part of it. It's much better when you're doing messaging and be much more successful if you're not just doing it to them,
Right.
where they feel very activated with
Right.
it. It's a double-edged sword in that space, right?
Right.
If you're completely transparent with what's going right and going wrong,
Right.
you then have to help them in the messaging of, look, we know that this
Right.
isn't perfect.
Right.
This is an iterative process,
Yep.
and we need you to put your value into this process to help us create a tool that's going to work. And ultimately, getting that commitment of we want this to work. We
Yep.
want it to work because it should be important to you. It will be elevating what you're doing.
Yep.
And so it's, transparency is that key. Collaboration is key.
Yep.
And just really saying, this is iterative. We're all learning. And so it really is that commitment of messaging of, we're going to tell you like it is. We're going to include your voice in what is happening, and we're going to build it together.
Awesome. Awesome.
So, Hari, what are some real use cases of AI here at Solventum?
Solventum, as you know, it's a 100-year-old company. It's the 3M spin-off, 3M Healthcare. And we've been in the AI space for many decades, right? Whether it is like rule-based, traditional machine learning, supervised machine learning, deep learning, and now agentic and LLM approaches. So we are right in the clinical productivity solutions, CDI, clinical document integrity, and the rev cycle, which is our crown jewel. In the clinical productivity solution, we are mostly in making clinicians' job a lot easy in the hospital setting. So we have like solutions for ambient speech and then dictation. So ambient is all about making doctors gain back their pajama time. So currently they spend like 2 to 3 hours every day documenting, post their work hours, and they get like doctor fatigue. And we completely eliminated by ambient speech to text and then like dictation to make the documentation part a lot easier. We have CDI, which is about like using LLMs to make the document more relevant and accurate by having soft nudges to doctors to correct the document to be coding ready, right? We are taking it to a level of autonomous coding. It used to be computer-assisted coding. Now we are taking it autonomous coding using agentic approaches, multi-agentic approaches, and automating the entire workflow and pathways. And then like push at least like 50% of the documents to coding. So that's where we are applying AI, all forms of AI, speech, large language models, and the latest and greatest approaches when it comes to AI for more accurate coding outputs.
What really makes us stand out from other competitors in that space?
The real advantage of company like Solventum, which has been in the space, is about understanding the clinical workflow.
Absolutely.
Right? So we have like close to 500 clinicians in-house who help fine-tune the models. The key is about how are you very secure, how are you compliant, and how do you be accurate when it comes to the results that's being produced. As you know, denials is one of the biggest problems. So our goal is to push accuracy is the forefront, but also with all the clinical expertise and content expertise that we have built over years, we make sure there is clinicians in the workflow, human in the loop, to absolutely make sure there are less denials and more accurate outputs for the coders.